So I received an invitation to Ali Abdaal's exclusive Feel Good Productivity Annual Planning Workshop. And I wanted to come on today to share my thoughts, give it a quick review, go over a lot of the insightful information that he went over, and more importantly, share with you these templates that I designed specifically for you so that you can keep track of this and you can go along as well. So when you're planning your goals, this will be a helpful tool for you. It's going to be available in Airtable and Notion. It's completely free for you to download. The links will be in the description. If you're familiar with Ali Abdaal, he's a famous YouTuber. I think he has about 5 million subscribers right now. He's been around for a couple of years. I'm a huge fan of his, been following him for a long time. And recently he came out with a book called Feel Good Productivity, which of course I signed up for. We did have the opportunity to pre-order the book when he first announced it. And for those that pre-ordered the book, you were able to participate in this annual planning workshop. Now, it was totally free. Didn't cost you anything. All you had to do was go in and download a copy of your receipt showing that you pre-ordered the book. So I tuned in. I was excited to participate in a workshop. Come to find out, there was 10,000 people on the Zoom call from across the world. It was truly amazing. Ali, he delivered as you would expect, you know, true to form. He was very conversational, very helpful, very insightful, went in a nice conversational tone. You know, he allowed us time to work through the materials. All in all, the workshop was scheduled for 3 hours, but we did wind up going over, and he was so nice and so cool, so into it. He said, hey guys, he told his team, you know, I know that you may have some other things, some other commitments, so you want to drop off, go ahead. He felt as though it was important to continue working with us. He even took a couple of people from online and helped work through some of our goals for the next year. So hats off to Ali. It was a great workshop. I learned a lot, so much that it inspired me to go ahead and share the information with you and build this template so that you could benefit off of what I learned from him. So the first part of the program was just kind of recapping your previous year, going over what you did for the year. And for me, I found it a little difficult. He encouraged you to go in, look at your calendars, and go through your phone so you could take a look at your pictures. Month by month, identify certain things and kind of reflect on that. So I found it a little difficult. I changed my phone a couple of times throughout the year. My photos were kind of scattered around. Didn't have them all in one place. Don't have one set calendar that I use at the moment. It's kind of a hodgepodge, my work calendar, my personal calendar, different calendars for different projects. It was a little difficult for me, but there was a couple of things that he really wanted us to focus on. He wanted us to mark out, you know, some major milestones, some things that we were able to overcome in the year, things that we had gratitude for, some of our unfulfilled aspirations, relationships and connections, professional and academic growth and achievements, and things that we were looking forward to. So he gave us some time to kind of work through all of that. And then he went broad. He wanted us to kind of develop a vision. He called it Finding Your North Star. And this was very challenging. And if you watch any of his videos, he discussed some of these ideas in some of his past videos, things about these different prompts that will prompt you thinking. So thinking beyond what you want to obtain and kind of career goals, but thinking of the big picture. There were some very powerful prompts that he challenged us to work through. The first prompt was the Ideal Tuesday prompt. And the idea of that is if you could envision what your ideal Tuesday would look like, what would that be? The second prompt was the Fearless Dream prompt. So the Fearless Dream prompt is just around, you know, what would you do if you knew that you couldn't fail? So kind of thinking big picture stuff. If you knew you couldn't fail, what were you going to do? The third prompt was the Fail-Proof Dream prompt. And this is what would you do if you knew you would fail, but you would do it anyway? And it's kind of interesting. Like, what kind of activities would you do if you knew you were going to fail, but it's something that you want to do just for the experience of it? And there's a lot of things that I have on my list when it comes to this. Things that you just want to try, regardless of how good you are at it, right? You want the experience, you want to mark it off. Maybe it's a bucket list item that you have. Something that, putting failure aside, you know you're going to fail. What do you want to do just for the sake of trying it? The next prompt was the Future TED Talk prompt. And this is where he challenged us. If you're in a room of people at a TED conference, you were one of the people in attendance. There was hundreds of others in the attendance. The speaker that was on stage, what was the one talk that you would want to hear? And then he said, okay, so imagine that speaker is you. What is that one talk that you want to deliver? What is that one talk that you want to hear, that you think everybody wants to hear? Right away, I knew what that was for me, so I put that in my document. But interesting concept, like if you were going to be in attendance with hundreds of people, what was the one thing that you would want everybody to hear, like kind of the most important thing that you want somebody to know? So that would be the future TED Talk prompt. And the last prompt was the obituary writing prompt. Now, I know he did discuss this in one of his videos. And the challenge was, what would you want your obituary to read? Imagine that you're dead and somebody's writing an obituary for you. What would you want that to say? And he challenged us, and he actually went through the practice with somebody on writing out an obituary prompt. And it really gets you to thinking, like, what are the things that you want to be known for? What type of legacy do you want to leave? What types of things would you want your children or your friends or other people to know about you if you weren't even here on the earth anymore? It was very helpful in doing that. And then he dived into the goals. Now, he did provide us a Google Doc that he sent out to us that we could download. He encouraged us to go ahead and follow along and take notes on your doc. But there were a lot of dreams and prompts that he encouraged us to think about when it comes to our dreams. Out of the 10 prompts, only one of them really was evolving around money. Other prompts: what do you want to learn? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What do you want to create? What do you want to see? What do you want to have? What do you want to be? What do you want to try? What do you want to contribute to? And what do you want to overcome? Pretty diverse groups of things, but I was happy to see that only one of those things really involved money, which is what do you want to have. The rest of the things are those deeper thinking types of vibes. And if you've been following me for a while, I did do a previous video on kind of vision board planning and some of the common problems that we have with the vision board. And one of those problems is that we think too much about what we want, the materialistic things, that we have to think deeper about things that we want to do, what our curiosities are. Fantastic job as always. I really appreciate the thought that went into this, and he did give us a lot of time to work through each of those individually. And so he did get some examples, from his goals and things that he wanted to achieve, and he was very conversational. It was a huge help to me as I was going through this entire process with him. I wound up saying, hey, what can I do to make sure that I can track all this? More importantly, I wanted to a way where I could actually journal all of these things and track my progress towards achieving these goals. Because at the end of the day, we all kind of get busy. We get into our routine. We write these goals down. We have these visions for ourselves, and then we forget about it. So a couple of things that I reviewed on in my previous video when it came about vision boards, I mentioned that not only does your vision have to encompass, more so than just things that you want, materialistic things, but it has to be things that you can achieve, and you want to be able to track your progress towards achieving these goals throughout the year. Day by day, you want to be able to see how close you are to reaching those goals. And the other thing that's important when you're doing your goal planning and your vision boards, as I discussed before, is that you have to make sure that it's in your face, somewhere where you can visualize it, you can see it, and that, every day you don't lose sight of what it is. So the best way I thought to do this for myself was doing some Notion and Airtable templates. And so I just want to take a quick minute to go over what you would see on these templates. If you want to download them, the link is down below in the description. It's going to give you a daily journal, and the daily journal is going to help you list, things that you read, things that you learned, things that you did, who did you hang out with, and for each of your activities, you're able to track which goal does it feed into. And you'll be able to view this in different ways. You can view it as a table, you can view it as a calendar. I'll have a full tutorial of this. But basically, it's going to give you a journal for you to track every day, everything that you do, and you'll be able to attribute towards which goals you're looking to achieve. That way you don't lose sight of it. The other thing it's going to do, it's going to help give you your North Star. It's going to be very visible with pictures. As soon as you open up your dashboard, it's right there. All of those prompts, your future TED Talk, your fail-proof dream prompt, all of those prompts. I put visuals in there just as placeholders, but you would want to, of course, place your own in there. And so when you open up your Notion dashboard, right there, all of those prompts will be right in front of you. Down the left column then is going to list all of your goals, those 10 different goals that we talked about. What do you want? What do you want to create? What do you want to be? What do you want to have? all of this prompts, so it's going to be very visual for you to see it every time you log into your dashboard. And then you'll have a calendar in the middle of it, and that calendar is going to help you keep track of course, your daily journal. Make sure that you're filling that out on a daily basis. It'll also give you quick views if you want to look at each particular day in the calendar, looking back at a year, what did you do? And you can also take another view to say, which goals did I work on these particular days? So this is going to give you an overall big picture of your goals, your visions. As you're going through the year, I would encourage you to look at this on a daily basis, take some time to reflect. One of the entries is an area where you can reflect on your goals, reflect on your day, discuss things that you were happy about, things that you enjoyed, things that challenged you, things that you could do better, some things that you failed at. All of that's going to be included. So if you do download the template, there will be a tutorial there that you can click on the link. It'll walk you through the entire template. So I encourage you to do that. So those are my thoughts on Ali Abdaal's Feel Good Productivity Annual Planning Workshop. Thanks to Ali and all that he does. I'm a huge fan of yours, Ali. Hopefully you're checking out this video. Hit me up. Let me know what you think about the template that I put together. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you do, make sure that you hit thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. We can feed the algorithm and download those templates. Always willing to get some feedback from you, so comment down below what you thought about it. And if this is something that you dig, if you'd like to get ideas on ways that you can improve your life and your business and skill up, then make sure that you follow me and subscribe to the channel. As always, I am your boy Paul. It's been a pleasure sharing my journey with you. Hopefully, I get to hear about yours. So until next time, take care, guys.